What's good, YouTube? It's your boy BG Tech Life, and today I want to talk about the Pixel 7a, so let's get into it. Now, as we all know, the Pixel 7a came out. The predecessor is the Pixel 6a. Pixel 7a gained a lot of little things, a $50 price bump, but it also gained a display that's 90 hertz, gained a 64 megapixel camera shooter on the back, and wireless charging. Key things that people complained about this device. So like, we just gonna go category by category. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this device. As far as the build go, guys, it's a plastic build, but I mean, I promise you, this feels like a compact premium device. I felt a lot of cheap devices. This doesn't feel like that. I was surprised. I'm not gonna say I was surprised. I knew the back was plastic when I received the device, but it's got like a cold touch, like a glass premium touch, so I really like that. And it being plastic, it means that it is more durable. Now, another thing about the build we gotta talk about is the bezels. Now, a lot of people knock the bezels, and the bezels are big. They are big, but you gotta remember, we're at a $500 price point phone. It would be nice for the bezels to be a little sleeker, but this is what we got. Now, the display, we gotta bump up and the performance of the display to 90 hertz. Even though out the box the display is 60 hertz, you have to actually toggle on 90 hertz. I don't know why anybody would have to toggle from 60 to 90. It should just be 90 out the box, and that just should be it. Maybe it's a battery life thing, and we'll get to that. And the display itself is not bad. It's a 1080 OLED screen. Blacks get black, but at the same time, this display does not get bright at all. That's one knock to this device, that you could probably grab a Pixel 7 to get a brighter display. I don't like how this display is just a little, it doesn't get bright enough for me. I like my displays very bright. I keep all my displays turned up. Now, the camera system, guys, I want to say this. On all Pixels, the camera system is going to be a go just because of computational photography. You got a nice 64 megapixel shooter out back, and we got Tensor 2 in here, guys, so we can do 4K 60 out back, and you can grab some great pictures because you got a decent sensor, and that decent sensor is going to send whatever image you take to Google, and they're going to put their computational touches on it, and it's going to look great. And we can also shoot 4K 30 out of the front facing camera, so that's decent at a $500 price point. I feel like at $500, 4K 30 out the front facing camera and 4K 60 that actually looks decent out the rear camera is a go. Now, I just mentioned the Tensor G2 on this device because of the cameras, but the Tensor is decent. It's good. It does a good job with everyday regular tasks, everyday regular performance on this device. The Tensor G2 is in everything that Google's putting out up to the Pixel Fold. It's a good everyday processor, especially for a phone like this, a mid-range phone or a low-end mid-range phone at $500. It definitely performs well for what I expected, value per dollar, per performance for having a Tensor G2. If you throw anything intense at this phone, the thermals will get a little warm, and the device may start having a hard time with certain tasks. So it's not a super performer, but for everyday use, it's definitely smooth. And with the software, it definitely feels fluid on this device combined with the 90 hertz. Tensor works well with artificial intelligence and the Google Assistant features on this device, like dictation. So this is a powerful little secretary in your pocket at the same time, because that's some of the key features, like the calling features, the assistant features of this device. This is why somebody would go to a Pixel. Now, we talk about Tensor performance and thermals and things of that nature, so we got to talk about the battery life. And the battery life on this device, guys, is lackluster to me. The most I've had is 4.5 hours screen on time. Usually at lower price points for certain specs, my expectations are not that high. But when you talk about $500 phones and things of that nature, the specs aren't all the way turned up. The screens aren't 1440 or 2K screens. So I expect to get good battery life out of a phone that's not as demanding as some of these feature pack $1,000, $1,200 flagships. They definitely need to work on the battery life of these Pixel devices, and I think it's all across the board. That's something Google has to work on to be competitive. Now, the software on this device is pure stock Android, and I will say that's a plus. Anytime that you're backed by Google and you're getting 4 to 5 years of security updates and things of that nature on a device, the software is very smooth. Android 13 is running really well. Even Android 14, the beta, that I've used on my Pixel 7 Pro is getting even better. So getting around the interface and doing certain things, doing everyday tasks is super smooth on this device. It's way different using this device than using a budget device of a couple years ago. It's really no issues. You really have no issues with this device until you put it under some type of heavy performance load. All in all, guys, coming from a Pixel 6a to a Pixel 7a is great. You're getting some little fantastic upgrades. It's not the biggest upgrades because we're on the budget tier, but at the same time, 90 hertz, wireless charging, facial recognition. I mean, you're getting some, if you are Pixel 6a guys, you got something to look forward to. Now, the one thing about this device to me is how close it is to the Pixel 7 in price and the little things that the Pixel 7 have over this device. So somebody that would pick up this device over the Pixel 7 probably would be somebody that like a certain color, like I got this coral, or probably somebody that wants the smallest Android device they could get, you know, from Pixel with 6.1 inches. But yeah, it's just a little confusing how close they are in price. But coming from any older Pixel device and picking this up, this is a nice little device, guys, for 500 bucks. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints. I wish they would get the battery life up. That's one thing, that's one drawback of this device. And they need to work on the thermals. Not as big as a problem as the battery life, but definitely something that need to be looked into. But all in all, yeah, Pixel 7a is a compact little secretary in your pocket that you can get a lot of done with. You can get some 4K footage with, so I like it. If I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a B+. It's your man BG Tech Life. This is a month in with the Pixel 7a. I'm out. Peace.